They say we should have known better than to fall so deep down into this rabbit hole we found. And I was thinking.
Hi, this is Nikolai, and you're listening to my dad, Rafal, co-host James Jardine, and featuring Mr. Jim Tiller on the one and only Down the Security Rabbit Hole podcast. Plug in, listen up, and enjoy.
Deep into this pool of regrettable situations. Pitch black, think back to the last time that we were happy.
Hey guys, Raph here. I am back from Black Hat in a relaxing weekend, mostly. So I thought I'd take a couple minutes and wrap up what was Black Hat week for me. As you imagine, every year it is a mad dash from the time you hit the ground till the time you drag your exhausted butt back onto the plane to go home. Look, the size and scale gets bigger and bigger and bigger every single year. I don't know how that's possible. But I walk out of there exhausted. I know everybody walks out of there pretty much beat by like Wednesday, and then you've got all day Thursday and Friday. It's rough. But my one complaint continues to be why a lot of these restaurants just let themselves be rented out for the entire time. Look, I'm glad Armis got their 300 million ARR party, but folks, some of us would like to go get a cup of coffee, and Hazel was taking the entire time, much like every other restaurant there. And frankly, that's kind of annoying. You have to go away from Mandalay Bay to go get food. And I don't know. I'm not crazy about that. I do think that you should go, though. I really do. If you're a practitioner or if somebody wants to stay connected to the practitioner mindset, you should go. I think that it's something more than just summer camp. You get to see some folks, hear some really intelligent things, learn a whole lot, and frankly, talk to vendors because there's a lot of good stuff going on out there. Number two, somebody asked me about the difference between RSA and Black Hat, and I think the easiest way to describe it is RSA is more business focused. It's a lot of B2B, so vendors looking for partners, and vendors and cybersecurity vendors looking for hitting their pitch to various, VCs and the like. And then Black Hat really is much more practitioner focused, I still feel, right? It's compared to RSA, it's freaking affordable. And it's not a giant vendor palooza. It's not, 100 million square feet of vendor space, which is always better. All right. So RSA, business, Black Hat, more practical. Let's talk about themes. And oh my God, AI everywhere. Everybody had just taken the big brush of AI, just painted over everything, right? What used to be XDR, now AI. What used to be, machine learning, now AI. But here's the problem. Most of the folks I stopped and talked to, like, hey, what does this mean on your booth? The one that I got tripped up on was AI native SIM. And if it's your booth in the startup area, hi, that was me asking that question because nobody could really explain it. I got a little frustrated. But yeah, oh my God, AI was everywhere. Everybody was selling AI. Everybody was selling things that bid AI. Nobody could explain much about it. Like, this is AI. AI is magic. You got to get AI. You can separate it into essentially securing AI and then the security that AI does. And those are two very separate things. I feel like people didn't do a great job explaining that, but that's the key AI theme. And the step beyond that is everything was agentic. Agentic everything. Agents for your SOC, your SIM, agents for your playbook, agents for some companies were going to replace all your SOC analysts. Some companies were laughing at that, like most of us were, to talk about some of the other stuff that agents can do. But agentic, and when you peel that back and you start asking real questions, it got a little sketchy, as you imagine, mainly because companies still don't bring true technical expertise. They bring people that stand at the booth and have no problem handing you a tchotchke, signing you up for whatever party that they want you to attend, but they have a hard time answering questions. I really need that to get fixed, I think, for next couple of years. Also, automation. That was a big theme. I think we've realized that there's a lot of work to be done, and there's just not a lot of, people to do it, not enough time. So automation was a massive theme. Everything from automating your SOC to automating your threat hunting to automating responses and detection and everything else, really. It came back to automation. And I would be absolutely remiss if I didn't, at least tip my hat to the marketing folks. I wouldn't say in the best possible way, but good Lord, you guys up the ante every single year. Did you all get the same thesaurus and the same words to include on your booth? Because it felt like it. Again, year after year, black hat after black hat, you walk around and you read the booth, what it says, and you have no idea. Right? Cloud native, agentic security at scale. What? What does that mean? What do you do? Tell me what you do. I shouldn't have to go sign up for a 20-minute session to understand what you do. It's real. I understand. Believe me, I understand. It is not trivial to explain what we do in cyber. Right? I've spent a career doing this. But bear with me here. But you shouldn't need brochures upon brochures. It's just like, what do you do? Put it on your booth, couple of words, short paragraph, quick demo maybe. But I don't know. I'm unimpressed with all the marketing hoopla. Like, there's just so much flowery language being used. Everybody's best of breed, right? Everybody's a solution, right? Everybody's the industry leading, the AI first, the whatever. And just why? You guys realize that from a marketing perspective, that your buyer is confused. Your buyer isn't impressed by your big words. In fact, they're going to pass right by your booth because they're going to look at you and go, I'm not spending 20 minutes to walk into that to be assaulted by, people who are going to try to get my information, scan my badge, and send me 700 emails. I just want to know what you do. Why are you relevant? What solutions do you provide? What problems do you solve? And how can I engage? That should be it. That should be super, super simple, but it's not. You all suck at it. Most of you suck at it. I can't say everybody, right? Because there's a lot of good out there, but not anywhere near enough. And then, of course, I'll quote somebody without I haven't asked for permission. So I'm going to say, she said, hey, we're still solving 1997's problems with solutions of today. I would phrase it as cutting edge solutions to 1997's problems. Look, guys, we still struggle with identify your assets on the network, know what vulnerabilities you have, prioritize threats. Like, just ready? Do the basics. Do the basics. A lot harder than it sounds. I know as networks get more complex, we introduce, now we're going beyond cloud, ubiquitous compute, AI comes into the picture, everybody's trying to secure AI. Nobody knows what that means. We're still largely in trouble on the AppSec side. So, all right, I've got 4 takeaways, right? Lots of lunchtime drinks conversations. There was a lot of bad, a lot of mediocre marketing, overblown hoopla, but there was some good things. Right? There were some really interesting vendors out there. And if you stop by, go look. Those of you that came by and saw my talk at the Extra Hot booth on the thing that I did about the Yellow Brick Road, like programmatic implementation, it applies to everything, not just what we do. But anyway, thanks. It's a bigger crowd than we thought, I guess. We didn't have enough space. So thank you, everybody that came out. My stuff's available. I can send you slides and all that if those of you guys that are interested. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I've created a programmatic model for implementing what we call modern NDR. You can actually apply that to just about everything, technology-wise. But I think there were some interesting things. I think a lot of the security of AI were relatively interesting conversations. I think they were. I think they were worthy. But the securing AI, right? How do we secure the AI rather than what can AI do for security wasn't well defined enough. Like that was simply not a good definition. And as indicated by when you asked, people were like, AI security something. I think we need to tone down the marketing hype. This is just, we've got it to 11. Like how much further can you guys turn the knob up in marketing? Hopefully not much. All the announcements that in the rumors, of course, that swirled, and Palo made announcements and companies made announcements, lots of stuff, right? I keep hearing consolidation is just over the hill. I mean, seeing some remnants of that, some real consolidation stuff happening, but maybe this is the year that it kind of starts to go. There are some very interesting innovations happening, especially in as far as how do we use machine learning to identify what we should know, to identify what we should focus our efforts at. I think that's the key for the next couple of years. And then, I'll leave you with this. Vegas is still hotter than hell. It was 110 or 109 degrees. If you got outside and got a chance to sit by the pool, I didn't. But if you got a chance to sit by the pool, hang out, enjoy, see some friends, have some beverages with people you don't see very much, then that's a win for me. I mean, I think that's a worthy cause and a good reason to go. And if you did what I do, which is go find a place to sit, like centrally, and I usually do it like right by that central area, like where Rhythm and Riffs is by Citizens. Just sit there. Everybody you need to talk to is going to walk by. Pretty much happened. And it was it. I'm glad I went. I hope I got to see you out there. If not, hit me back. It's been an interesting year. I've got a little clip for you. I sat down. I guess I stood up in the Mandalay lobby area with Ray Canzanese, my good buddy, that I get to do some wrap ups with. I've got that clip for you next. And I'll see you out there at the next conference. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching.
Now check out Ray and enjoy the rest of this. Bye.
All right. Good morning, good afternoon, and maybe even good evening to some. We are on the West Coast. This is my friend Ray. We've done this a couple times now, including we wrapped up RSA, which was, I guys, one of the most listened to episodes so far this year. So they like you, Ray.
That's awesome.
The good news.
Yeah.
So here we are. As you guys can tell, my voice is darn near shot. And today's my big day because I got a whole bunch of talks to give today. But like, it's Vegas, man. My lips are chapped. My throat is gone. How are you doing?
I am doing just about the same. I am from a beautiful, humid climate where everybody is happy and your skin feels good.
Yeah, where it's not like. And by the way, in case you, I say missed it, but maybe it just didn't come out this year, it's 109 degrees out there. It's so hot that there's not a whole lot of people at the Mandalay pool this year because it's damn hot.
Too hot for the pool.
I managed to walk between two cab lines outside in a polo, not even a jacket, in a polo, and I was like, okay, no thank you. I'm going back indoors, just wait for the cab there. All right, so it's Thursday morning. You guys know I like to do wrap-ups. Ray's one of my favorite guests to do this with because we both have a particular sense of humor.
That's a nice way to put it. Thank you.
Some observational skills. Ray, remind people what you do.
Yeah, I am the head of Netskope Threat Labs. We do threat research at Netskope.
So, Ray, two themes as I walked, and I like walking through like the startup area. That's always fun. Two big themes. One, AI, agents, everything. And then I feel like the SIM is coming back somehow.
Yes, the SIM is coming back, and it's coming back. Well, AI and the branding of the SIM.
I put this on LinkedIn if you guys didn't see it. There was a particular booth, and look, I'm not making fun of you. I'm just saying maybe your marketing needs a little help. But it said the first AI native SIM. I want to know what that means. They're like, did somebody go to ChatGPT and say, ChatGPT, make me a sim? Probably not.
Probably not. No.
It kind of feels that way.
Yeah. No, it feels like the new cloud native, right?
Yes, everything was cloud native.
Everything was cloud native. Now everything will be AI and cloud native.
And yes, it's the hyper scaled AI native agentic. What else we got here? So there's other. I'm sure there's some other buzzwords, but agentic is another big one.
Yeah. But I mean, I think there's maybe some truthiness to it, right? Where you're like, meaning like when people would say cloud native, it would mean like, oh, we build it to run on AWS, right? Or we build it to run in Kubernetes so we could scale it out, right? AI native, I would assume, means like, well, we built this with the AI use cases in mind first. Yeah, first. Right? To make sure that we could get the data to the agents or whatever.
Although to be fair, about half the time, cloud native meant it worked perfectly well on infrastructure for a bunch of times, but we needed to put it in the cloud to make it convincing. And so we moved our workload a little bit into the cloud.
Yes. I will admit that sometimes cloud native means we're running these in EC2 now instead of on our own computers, but it did mean something before that.
So any big observations? Did you get a chance to walk all the booths?
I didn't walk all the booths. I walked the fun booths, which are the startups. The fun booths are always the startups. And I mean, it was the same thing. AI is the source of all of our problems and the solution to all of our problems.
That is, yes, because it was security, AI for security, and then security for AI. Yes. Those are two big things.
Yeah. So that AI VC money has gotten to every single one of us.
Oh, that's sweet VC money.
That's sweet VC money. If you say AI, you can get the money. If you don't say the right words, right, there's no money for you.
And everything was agentic. Everything's based on agents. Everything's agentic.
Yeah. And the fun thing about the agentic stuff is we just published a report on Monday. Yeah. And we were looking at, like who's actually doing agents, right? Like who's building their own stuff. It's starting. Like we're actually starting to see people do it. It was something like 5.5% of our customers have like built and are running agents on-prem. Okay. And it was something on the order of like, 15% that are using like Bedrock or OpenAI, to run agents. And like those are not huge numbers.
Yeah.
But like, I feel like a year ago we were talking about how agents were going to kill all of us, but nobody was running agents.
Yeah, that's right.
So at least you see people experimenting with them, and I'm curious to see where it goes.
It'll be interesting.
They don't really solve all of our problems. No, I've solved very few of my problems with AI.
Well, I've created some with AI. It was interesting. There was not to segue too far off of Black Hat, but there was an interesting article that was written about like a bunch of the CEOs that fired their workforce, chunks of their workforce, to replace it with AI and agents are suddenly realizing like, hey, that was a mistake. We need to bring everybody back.
Yeah, right. Because I mean, and when we talk about AI now, right, we're really just talking about these LLMs, right, and Gen AI, right? And I mean, they're just bigger models than we had a few years ago, and they're better at auto-completing language. Yes. Right? Yes. And that is a helpful tool.
Yes.
But I've come to realize it's not even really, it's not really more than that, right?
Yeah, not yet, maybe. Maybe not yet.
Maybe not yet, right? So it's helpful. It's a helpful tool, but it is not a person.
It's interesting because one of the things that I saw this year, and I've got some meetings today, actually, to discuss this topic, and I've laughed it off for a bit. I think it's time to go really seriously investigate it. It's the idea of the agentic SOC.
The agentic SOC.
So it's, think about outsourcing your security operations entirely to an AI agent-based platform thing, which sounds fantastic, right? Why would you, like, the computers can move faster than humans, process better than humans, make decisions better than humans? I don't know about this.
The make decisions part is the one that I think it's going to be hard for anybody to say, like, okay, cool, I'm going to use that to make the decisions. But when it comes to like the repetitive work that happens in a SOC, it should be good at that, right? Yeah. I think we're at a level where you can automate a lot of that repetitive work, but have somebody else make the decision.
Yeah, right? and like, if you guys, for those of them that are not here and they're listening to this later, it's super interesting to think about the way that we've in some of the language that you see out on the booths and in the expo area, you get a lot of there's a lot of hints of like replacing the human value, right? Because you don't have to think anymore. You can. I just don't see it. Maybe it's not yet, but I just don't see it. I saw somebody on LinkedIn put it was like it lost me, right? But it said, what does your threat model look like now that AI thinks for itself? And I was like, you lost me.
You lost, right. So that's the thing. We're not replacing thinking.
That's right.
Because especially when we're talking about LLMs, they're not thinking.
Yeah.
There's no thought. They're completely, right, as we would say, unencumbered by the thought process, right? That doesn't mean they're useless, but they're not thinking for you. They're doing tasks for you, right? They're auto-completing language. They're analyzing data.
Yeah.
They're not thinking about anything. It's a pattern match.
So I feel like if you, depending on who you listen to, the current state of AI is somewhere between Clippy and Skynet.
Yeah. I think it's a really good Clippy, though. Like, I feel like if Clippy had LLMs, we would talk about how it was the most innovative thing ever.
And it's a funny comparison. Right. That's a good one. So your report, you guys just put out. Anything interesting in there that you want to tell people about?
Yeah, I mean, so we look at all the shadow AI stuff that's happening, right? Because what do people do with their work computers? Whatever they want, right? Yeah. They do whatever they want with their work computers. They give it to their kid to play games, right? they watch adult videos. They do work, right? But it's like whatever they want. Yeah. So it's just chaos. And so the thing we found is that like there's only one area where we see people actually getting better. All these chatbots, all this like SaaS Gen AI apps, we're actually starting to see consolidation. Like the company said, use Enterprise Chat GPT, and everybody seems to be going toward what the company said to do. I'm not saying they're there. I'm saying we're trending in the right direction. Right?
Like
That's the only place where I saw like an encouraging trend. Everywhere else, the trend was things are bad and getting worse. And the worst one was the frameworks, the cloud-based AI frameworks, Bedrock, Azure OpenAI, Vertex, everybody's just trying them out right now. It's just chaos. I remember, I don't know if we put this in the report or not, but we're looking at like individual companies, right? Because, some people say like, oh yeah, we're using, like we have Olama. We have an Olama server locally that everybody's using.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, cool, right? I guess you get some privacy guarantees from that. You're using your investments that you paid into all that hardware.
Yeah.
And then we're looking through. So I'm like, cool, okay, well, what about this organization that had like 117 different people running Olama? And I was like, okay, that seems chaotic, right?
Yes.
Like, is the CISO aware of those 117 people running Olama?
Not. I'm going to go ahead and go on the limb and say probably not.
Do they know what everybody's doing with Olama? Has everybody secured it properly, right? There's a lot of chaos right now in that area. And so I feel like that's going to be the next shift, is everybody's going to say, okay, we kind of know what we're doing for all the, the stuff in the browser. Now it's time to start thinking about all that other stuff. It's just.
Are you seeing, I've seen a lot of talk about this. Are you seeing the one of the risks that was talked about quite a bit in the last couple of days that I kept hearing is people are putting their data into these non-enterprise, but out there, ChatGPT, some of the ones from China, the ones that are built all over the place, right? And your data is kind of like, bye-bye.
Yeah, I mean, so that's the thing about these, right? Is like, what are they good at? Like, the LLMs are good at summarizing and generating, right? Yeah. And so they need input the data, right? Like, the only way I'm going to get value out of it is if I'm going to throw my source code in there or this spreadsheet I just made in there.
Sounds like a good idea.
So it can crank. And so it sounds like a good idea to the individual, right? Who's trying to get their job done, right? And that's the problem, right? And so we see, it's just everything going into these. It's customer lists. It's in the regulated industries, right? Like just tons of healthcare data, financial data that people are trying to, put into whatever chatbot they felt like using at the moment.
Yeah.
And I mean, luckily that's getting better, right? We actually see people have had success coaching their users to say like, hey, we paid for this thing for you. Yeah. Use this one. Also, they're all pretty much the same.
Yeah, but I'm not surprised because every time, like when SaaS apps, as you know, became a big thing, everybody jumped and just started stuffing data in these online SaaS apps. And they're like, well, but they're so useful. And then the enterprise had to step in and say, hold on.
Right.
What you're doing is putting our data someplace we have no control over, no data governance, none of that. So there's governance being put in place now, I'm assuming.
Yeah, and the big trend we're seeing, which makes a heck of a lot of sense, is that people are consolidating around Gemini and around Copilot from Microsoft. Which makes sense because you're in these organizations where all your data is already
there. Yeah,
it's already in the hands of Microsoft. It's already in the hands of Google, right? Because it's already in Drive or OneDrive. So cool. Okay, I can deal with that risk, and the users like it too because it's so well integrated.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, you're typing your document, and you're like, okay. Cool, Clippy, come help me out.
Yeah.
And Clippy's over there. He's got a different icon now, but he helps you bootstrap your document.
Have you guys seen that commercial? It's not running anymore, but it was like a guy, I think it's like a police station or something, and it's like one of those old scenes, you know, and you know, the chief is in the other room, and the guy's like thundering away at this angry email. And it's like, would you like to rewrite this with a different tone? And he says, yes. And then it goes in, and then the guy in the manager supposedly is reading it. And he's like, I would like to inform you this. Da, 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 da. And the guy looks at the guy, looks like the guy goes, and it's like, I see. Yeah. I have had the occasion myself to have the AI, the modern Clippy, rewrite some sentences for me that I'm kind of glad it did because probably sounded a little bit less rough than I would have made them.
Yeah, and I feel like for the enterprise, that's where we're going, right? We see Gemini and Copilot being like the two apps that are just really taking off. And, I use it too. I think it's great.
I don't do that. Yeah.
We're a Google shop. So
same.
Gemini is in there, and it has its value. It's really good at summarization. Yeah. It's really fun to trick it into doing bad summaries. So if you didn't know that was a thing, you can send emails, right? You can hide a bunch of text in the email so that when Gemini summarizes the email, the summary is not what the email is really about.
That's hilarious. I'm going to try that. Yeah. All right. Anything? Any last thoughts here? Anything you want to leave the people with?
Leave the people with. If you want to learn more about what we're doing at Netskope Threat Labs, check us out, netskope.com/threatlabs. We have an AI report there. We are we're doing lots of cool stuff at DEF CON. We are open sourcing a new tool today called Beam. So you'll find a blog post there. You'll find the tool on GitHub.
Quick preview. What is Beam?
What is Beam? It is behavioral analytics of applications on endpoints. The objective is to find supply chain compromises. So you profile every app, that's running on your computers in your network, so that when one of those apps starts behaving in an unusual way, you raise an alert and you say, okay, this app seems to be compromised.
This shouldn't be doing that?
It shouldn't be doing that. Yeah.
Well, why is Clippy sending money trying to make a financial transfer to Russia again?
Exactly.
Darn you, Clippy.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, cool.
Yeah.
Hey, man, it's good to see you again.
Yeah. Good to see you too.
And we'll probably do this again at RSA. Folks, thanks for coming. I'll talk to you later. We'll see you later. Bye.
This is Bella. Thanks for listening. Don't forget to leave my dad a review and share this with your friends. Bye.